Hello, this is Ralph Brandt from the Fireside. I'm going to be doing a video here of a place called the Ironmasters Mansion that's at Pine Grove Furnace, Pennsylvania. That is in Cumberland County, not the Pine Grove up in the northeastern part of the state. It's in a beautiful part of the Appalachian Mountains here in Pennsylvania. I was asked a couple days ago to evaluate where else I would like to live. I have to give West Virginia and Western North Carolina as the two places other than where I'm at now. I guess the western part of New York is not a whole lot different except it's a little colder. But this Ironmasters Mansion is the anchor, the start and finish for a competitive hike called the March to the Mansion. And if you're a hiker and want to do something interesting, sign up for that. That is a great option. I see some fantastic people in this. One of the first pictures I'm going to show you is what some of these hiking trails look like. This is one of the, how should I say, more developed trails that actually vehicles can get on. But during these hikes, everything is pretty well excluded. The mansion itself is a really beautiful old building, and it's been modernized some, kept period some, and been able to keep a cash stream to maintain it. And quite frankly, that's what happens to many of our older buildings. There's no cash stream to maintain them. And when there's no cash stream, the building deteriorates. Maintenance suffers and it deteriorates. This is a view of the building itself, looking at it from really the southeast, I believe. This is really the front side of the building, and if you look at it, you'll see some doors. And we're going to show you pictures close up of those, because none of the three that are here are the same. The first one is a door that has an arched area over it, and it's seen on the picture there in the middle of the building. Then there is another one with just a flat area above it, but with a transom, and a third that's even a little different. Not sure what the significance of this is, but looking at buildings like the Davis Mansion that's in Bloomington, Illinois, I would find that those doors have significance. They may be the servants' quarters, they may be where the visitors were entered or where the family entered. We'll move on to the side of the building. The building is actually an L shape, and we were looking at the one side of the L. This is the back side, which has balconies. I believe this building at one time was really used as a place for entertainment, or whatever you want to call it. Place to house business associates that came to town. You have to realize Pine Grove Furnace is at least 12 miles from the thriving metropolis of Mount Holly Springs, another 5 from Carlisle, and probably close to 30 from Harrisburg. So it's pretty much out in the sticks. A side issue of that is that only about a half mile from here, the railroad ended. And people actually came to this area where there were vacation or weekend cabins that could be rented by rail from Harrisburg, from Philadelphia, to get out of the heat in the 1800s. You have to remember that this area, just below this area, iron ore was dug. And just off to the side from here, there was a blast furnace making iron. That's why this is called the Ironmasters Mansion. To make iron, you need iron ore, which was dug here, limestone, which was brought in from probably around the Carlisle area, and charcoal. Today, of course, coke is used, All of this had to be brought in except the iron ore, and you needed shipping to take the iron out. Iron is heavy. Taking it over roads at that time was very difficult. A wagon could generally, with 6 or 8 horses, only handle about a ton. The railroad was a much better choice, and a railroad was actually built through the mountain here, following the low stream beds up to just below the mansion. So people did come in here to do business and to do recreation. Now, probably very little of the recreation was tied to this building, but there are many cabins, and even some predate back to that area, that are in the area here, probably within 2 miles, which would make sense with the railroad. Another view of that is this one, which kind of shows pretty much the same thing, except it shows it from the opposite angle. We're looking at the backside of the first shot that we took. I'm sure that stairway is an addition, probably necessary, because this serves as a hostel for hikers that go through this area. Now we'll move to the other side of the building, and it's built on the side of a hill, really. That massive porch we'll take another look at here in a minute. And notice there's a ramp down here that may or may not have existed then. This is a look of that porch. Along it, we're looking towards the end that we've just looked at. This porch was there. Not sure of the railing and the supports, but the porch was there. The kitchen is in this end of the building currently, and I believe it was at that time. Here we see a view of the portion we saw first, and this area here, this area with the white fence, has become a parking lot. Also in front of us is another road that goes down past the iron furnace. Looking at inside, and I only have a few pictures of it, that's one of the massive fireplaces. Of course, I doubt that it's able to be used anymore. I chuckle whenever I look at this. We have some very period things in the picture, and then we have a recycling container and a fake wooden top table. Not complaining about it. It's just kind of an interesting observation. We then go into one of the rooms. I was able to kind of slip around through the building a little bit and see some of them. Here again, we see a fireplace this is on the second story. This is a part that's kind of restored and kept pretty much period. Matter of fact, I don't see anything in that picture that's not, including the spindle chair and this chair. That pillow might not be period. This is another view of that room. Of course, the horizontal plastic blinds are not period, but sometimes you have to bend to make something that's usable. This sitting area at the back of the bottom of the bed is probably period. Actually, I should say probably period, or a recreation that is in period style. I get a chuckle when I see this picture. You may not be able to read it, but it says, this is the Wi-Fi password for the area. This is out in one of the halls. But this whole area is just awesome. This is Ralph Brandt from the Fireside.